Someone texts you, "Hey, let's hang this weekend." And instead of excitement, your chest tightens because deep down, you'd rather not. Stay with me, because science is about to explain exactly why, and it will change how you see yourself forever. Friday night arrives, everyone's out. Parties, dinners, Instagram stories flooding your feed, and you're home by 9 p.m., in comfortable clothes, in a quiet room, with the door closed. And here's the worst part: you don't even feel sad about it. You feel relieved. But then the guilt kicks in. Should I have gone? Is something wrong with me? Am I wasting my life? You scroll through those party photos and wonder why you can't be more like them, why socializing feels like running a marathon while everyone else seems to be just jogging. And it's not just tonight, it's been your whole life. The teacher who wrote "needs to participate more" on every single report card. The family member who asked, "Why are you always so quiet at every gathering?" The friend who said, "You never want to come out anymore." Society handed you a script a long time ago. Being social equals healthy. Wanting to be alone equals broken. And maybe you believed it. Maybe you've spent years forcing yourself to say yes when every cell in your body was screaming no. Coming home exhausted, hollow, drained in a way that sleep barely fixes. But what if everything you've been told about solitude is wrong? What if the way your brain is wired is not a flaw, but one of the most sophisticated features nature ever designed? Let's talk about what's actually happening inside your brain. Dr. Elaine Aron, a research psychologist, spent over 2 decades studying people exactly like you. She discovered a trait called sensory processing sensitivity. In plain English, your brain processes everything more deeply: sounds, emotions, social cues, body language, tone of voice. While most people's brains skim the surface of an interaction, yours goes all the way to the bottom. You notice things others miss entirely. You feel things others don't even register. And all of that, every single bit of it, takes energy. Think of it this way: if most people are running one browser tab, you're running 20. No wonder you need time alone to just close a few tabs and let the system breathe. This is not a disorder. This is not something to fix or medicate or apologize for. Roughly 15 to 20% of the human population carries this trait. And here's where it gets fascinating. It exists in over 100 species, from fruit flies to primates. Nature has been selecting for this for millions of years. Why would evolution keep a trait like this alive? Because every tribe needed two kinds of people: the bold ones, the warriors who charged forward without hesitation, and the watchers, the ones who paused, observed, listened, and detected the danger before anyone else even looked up. Your ancestors, the ones who preferred stillness, who needed time to think, who didn't rush headfirst into the unknown, they were the ones who heard the predator approaching. They were the ones who noticed the storm coming before it arrived. They were the ones who thought twice before trusting something unfamiliar. They didn't survive despite being different. They survived because of it. So when you feel that pull to step back, to slow down, to recharge alone, you're not being antisocial. You're running ancient, battle-tested software that kept your bloodline alive for thousands of years. And throughout history, some of the most world-changing minds ran that same software. Nikola Tesla, who envisioned the electrical future almost entirely in solitude. J.K. Rowling, who built an entire wizarding world from the quiet corner of a small cafe. Albert Einstein, who once said imagination flourishes best when alone. They didn't succeed despite needing alone time. They succeeded because of it. But here's where I need to be honest with you. Not all solitude is the same. Healthy solitude feels like recharging. You step away from the noise and you come back, clearer, calmer, more yourself. You're running towards something: creativity, peace, a deeper version of your own thoughts. Unhealthy isolation feels like hiding. You're not recharging, you're numbing. You're avoiding people not because you don't need connection, but because you're afraid. Afraid of being judged, afraid of rejection. The door closes, and instead of feeling restored, you feel smaller. So here's the honest question only you can answer. When you close that door at night, are you recharging your battery or are you running from something? That answer matters, and it might have roots you haven't looked at yet. Maybe this started long before you had words for it. Maybe you were the kid who preferred one close friend over a room full of people, the one who escaped into books while everyone else played outside, the one whose imagination felt like better company than the noise of the world. You weren't weird. You were learning before you had language for it, how to protect your energy. That kid is still in you, and they knew something all along. Let's bring it all together. Your brain processes the world more deeply. That's science. Your ancestors survived for thousands of years partly because of this trait. That's evolution. And you've been practicing solitude since childhood, long before anyone gave you permission to. That's your story. Think of it this way. Extroverts have solar panels. The more people around them, the more energy they generate. You have a finite battery, rich, powerful, capable, but finite, and it needs quiet to recharge. Neither is superior. They're simply different operating systems, both essential, both powerful. In Japan, there's a concept, the art of finding peace in your own company. Going to a restaurant alone, traveling alone, sitting with your own thoughts, not out of loneliness, but out of choice. No shame, no explanation required. Maybe it's time we adopted that same respect for solitude.